Hello and welcome. This is Bruce Long, the Chief Executive Officer of BeBop Technology, and you're joining us today for Best Practices, Working Securely from Home with BeBop Technology. I'm going to give everybody a minute to join. Please stand by while we let everybody join onto the webinar. Give everybody a minute. Thank you for joining me today. It is a very interesting time in our country and on our globe. And thank you for taking time out of your already unusual day to join us at BeBop. Today, we're going to talk about best practices working securely from home. BeBop, as you know, or you may not know, is a content creation as a service solution. And it has various different aspects of it that make working from home a lot easier. Before I launch into our webinar today, I'm going to take a minute to just send a message to everyone and say that everyone at BeBop hopes and prays that this unusual crisis we're all experiencing ends quickly with as little harm done to anyone as possible, and that this all ends up being much to do, hopefully, about very little. But if in fact everyone continues to work from home, BeBop wants to make sure that we have a solution for everyone that you can use. So I'm going to talk about today the best practices about working from home. If any of you have seen any of the previous BeBop webinars, my friend and our friends Michael Kamas and Brian Bedell have been doing webinars talking about options, including BeBop. There are many different options, many different ways that you can work from home if you're an editor, if you're a visual effects artist, if you're a creative. And I want to make sure that I share with you guys that please feel free to jump on our website and take a look at Michael Kamas's webinar from Wednesday. And that will give you a very detailed list of alternative solutions to BeBop that you can use to access your creative tools to the cloud or from home. Today, though, we're going to talk mainly about BeBop and the easiest ways to work on BeBop from home and what I think are some of the things you want to keep in mind and plan. Of course, everybody at BeBop wants you to get ahead of this, wants you to take as much time as you can to plan, to prepare, and to not be caught off guard if you have to work from home or if your usual resources are not available to you. The first thing we should look at is your internet connection. BeBop uses a relatively modest 20 megabit internet connection. That's actually the same size that you have on most of your cell phones. It's about the same as a hotspot. And it really is a modest connection to give you full frame video, to give you multiple screens, and to give you the full BeBop experience. Our software uses a bunch of different compression schemes, and I'm proud to say you'll be able to use UHD on your computer using BeBop with still just that small internet connection. BeBop works on all of the public clouds, on Amazon, on Microsoft, and on Google. And it's important to note that BeBop is a Microsoft partner. So once you have your internet connection, you're going to download BeBop software onto your laptop or onto your desktop or onto your Zero client. You can use any of those three. And then you'll need a BeBop subscription. And again, just come to bebop.com, beboptechnology.com, and we can sign you up, and there's plenty of ways to get a test drive to sample all of this stuff. So the subscriptions that you'll need are on the screen right now. We have an organizational level subscription that allows you to bring 1 to 10 users, 11 to 20 users, etc. It allows us to architect both a production model and an enterprise model so that for every kind of user, there's a subscription designed just for your specific needs. Once you have your organizational subscription, we'll need to understand how many users you'll need. We can support your editors, your visual effects artists, your graphics artists, your assistants. We can do a lot of stuff on BeBop, and all with the tools that you're used to using in the industry. And we'll talk about those softwares in a minute. It's important to remember that you're actually working on a computer in the cloud. And so you'll need a subscription for the cloud side, and you'll need a subscription from BeBop. We are here to support you, and we can provide cloud subscriptions to go along with the BeBop subscriptions on Microsoft Azure. We're an Azure partner. And so if you don't have an account, no worries. We have a bundled solution just for you to do editing or visual effects, graphics, whatever you need on the BeBop platform. The next step we're going to talk about is the softwares that are available and how you'll access them. Today, you'll notice that the highlight is Adobe, the Foundry Nuke software, Autodesk and its package of softwares, and Gray Meta, the artificial intelligence software that also does QC. We're very proud to have a relationship with these 4 companies and many others. But as you'll notice, some of the brands that you're used to are not up on the screen right now. BeBop is taking the approach that in order to meet this unusual situation where people need systems in a very fast turnaround with very, very clear licensing, BeBop is using a bring your own license model. And what we mean by that is if you have an Adobe license, a Nuke license, Maya on Autodesk, or a Gray Meta license, we can take those license serial numbers, and when you show up on BeBop, we'll simply take that license off of your hardware assignment and assign it to the cloud, to the computer in the cloud. And in doing so, you'll have very much, if not exactly, the experience you've had when you're working on your local computer or your computers at work. The full Adobe package is available to you if you have the full Adobe subscription. Same thing with Nuke, same thing with Autodesk, same thing with Gray Meta. As I said earlier, you may notice some of the brands that BeBop has announced previously are not listed on the screen today. We anticipate coming back to you over the next few weeks with more brands joining this list. But today, these are the turnkey solutions that we can work with immediately, deploy very promptly, and be sure that you're having the BeBop experience that you're used to, regardless of what cloud you're on. Adobe obviously has Premiere for its editorial solution, as well as After Effects, Photoshop, etc. All of the tools you're used to from Adobe, from Nuke, Autodesk, and Gray Meta will be available to you. Of course, some of the Autodesk solutions are better working in the cloud than others, and we recommend Maya of the Autodesk tools for 3D. Flame and Inferno are different products and might operate differently depending on what cloud you're on and what infrastructure you're on. So just to say very simply, you're going to get a computer in the cloud, you've got your internet connection, and with BeBop, you've got everything you need to work from home to do editorial, visual effects, graphics, even distribution, and AI projects. I wanted to make sure I shared with you guys that BeBop's been around for 5 years working on this kind of work. Some of you may not have realized it. Some of you may have heard of BeBop, some of you might not. But we started in 2015 working with Amazon, and we've been working in the cloud for almost 5 years. And I'm very proud that the company has supported projects and deployments all over the world for a broad list of customers that are all very familiar to you guys. The customers that work on BeBop are all working through a public cloud, and they can be working through their own accounts, or you can work through a BeBop account, as I said. If you're working through a BeBop account, let me reiterate, you're going to be working on Microsoft Azure. And if you're working on one of your public clouds, you can certainly, and many of these companies do, use your own account, get your own pricing, and simply provide that data to BeBop, and we'll deploy our software onto your account so that it's a seamless experience. We feel very lucky to have the support of Amazon, Google, and Microsoft Azure during this period of crisis. I want you guys to know that every one of those clouds that are big giant companies are very, very present with us, and we've got 5-year relationships. So it's a single phone call or a single email between our companies to light up your account and our software, and it's a very straightforward experience no matter which cloud you're on. BeBop will give you exactly the same experience, whether you're on Microsoft Azure, whether you're on Google Cloud, or obviously if you're on AWS. Let's take a minute and talk about the softwares. I think many of us have been using a lot of different softwares. This is an intentionally pared down list. Please note, I did not include any of the plugins consciously. We have all the plugins you need. We wouldn't, obviously we're from the same business you are, and we understand that the small plugins and the tools that they provide are the missing links and the glue for your workflow and to make the tool as powerful as it can be. So of course, we will support all of the mainstream plugins that you need, and we have access to those, and you can again bring your own license with your plugins. We've been with Adobe for almost I guess it is 4 years now. And Adobe and BeBop have been road mapping our resources together for several years. It's probably important to say that Adobe is still optimizing the performance of its softwares in the cloud. And there are some scenarios where you'll be running a laptop, running Premiere or After Effects on a laptop and get great performance. And you'll put it in the cloud, and we'll have to tune it a couple of times to get the same performance. That's just part of the uniqueness of working in the cloud. We've all gotten used to it, and you will too. You'll find that some of these softwares have taken the time to optimize to the cloud. Other ones are still figuring it out. Regardless, BeBop is working hard to make sure that all of the softwares that we work with over the next 18 months will be 100% optimized in the cloud. And our goal is to give you exactly the same experience you have on-prem on your local hardware, on your cloud virtual computer. And that takes a little finesse both by BeBop and our partners in software. The next company I want to talk about is the Foundry. BeBop is proud to offer you Nuke software on BeBop. We will work closely with the Foundry and the team at the Foundry to have your licenses that you've already purchased be available to migrate onto the workstation in the cloud. That would also include their 3D software and the other parts of their package as you need it. And of course, you can do your rendering on BeBop on any of the public clouds. The Foundry Nuke software is very much a new part of the BeBop offering, and we're very pleased that the Foundry decided to step up and work with BeBop during this period of crisis, and we're very grateful that we can offer this extraordinary software to you on our platform. And again, thank you to the Foundry, thank you to Adobe, and thank you to Autodesk for working so closely with BeBop to make this licensing seamless and the experience that everyone has, very much like opening your computer in your home or on your laptop. The other company I was going to mention today is Autodesk. Those of you that are doing 3D will be happy to know that Maya is available to you. Those of you doing gaming and all the other stuff, these should be hopefully the tools that you need. If not, please let us know. And as I said, over the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be integrating more softwares. And of course, in the next 30 days, I'm working hard to get any additional softwares that are needed. But please, if you're in a rush, grab these softwares, get your editors and your graphic artists and your compositors and everybody, get them comfortable on the software. If they need training, let BeBop know, and we'll try to get our partners at Adobe, the Foundry, or Autodesk to work with you or provide tutorials. And we're certainly here to help you migrate your media. If you've been working on an Avid and you're going to move to Adobe, BeBop and Adobe are here to help you migrate your media and make that a seamless process. We know a lot of folks have been working on Avid for a long time, and we do not offer Avid today. That's something that we may address in the future. But today, we'd like you to consider working on the softwares that are on the screen in front of you. Okay, so the next thing that I want to make sure I share with you guys is what's going to come along with the package that you're going to get. BeBop, as I said, we've been around for 4 years. We've really worked hard to try to come up with the things that you need to work in the cloud. And so we've done a lot of proprietary software development. So the tools we have are unique to BeBop. You won't find them anywhere else. And they include, in no particular order, we have the BeBop operating software. The operating software is what allows you to have all of your usual applications like Adobe After Effects or like the Foundry Nuke on your virtual computer in the cloud. By the way, that's a Windows software. It's a Windows computer in the cloud. And that virtual computer with the BeBop operating software will allow you to run in real time your interactive processes. Those of you that have never run BeBop, you'll be shocked how responsive it is and how much it feels like the same computer that's in the room with you. So you'll have a virtual computer, and when you get to the cloud, you'll find there are several different kinds of storage. The primary ones are block storage and object storage. Many of you have heard the term S3 bucket. That is object storage. That is basic bread and butter storage that is used for most processes that are not highly demanding or highly interactive. For highly demanding and highly interactive processes, that's block storage. And BeBop has a deal with the clouds that we make sure that we seamlessly provide you the best performance using that block storage for editing, visual effects, etc. So block storage will be included when you order your system. And it's important to remember, how am I going to get my content to the cloud? You're going to use BeBop Rocket. That is our way to upload. It is absolutely free when you're on the BeBop system. Probably you've been paying for uploading through various different companies. One of the beautiful things about having BeBop in your organization is it allows you to use our uploader to get your material to the cloud very quickly. It is optimized for the cloud. It is not meant to be a point-to-point solution. So we can get tremendous efficiency and throughput out of the Rocket system. And we strongly recommend when you use BeBop, you use Rocket to ingest your content to the cloud. The other really wonderful thing that we've experienced in the cloud that didn't exist before was the ability to work with people in real time. Many of you have done sessions in a facility or even from your home where you get a very big pipe and get someone to have that set in the session with you in real time, like a video conferencing experience, as it were. This is something slightly different than that. BeBop's over-the-shoulder solution is actually giving you in real time the tools or the tools and playback monitor of the workstation. So you can sit there in real time, guide your editor, your artist, please make the sun more red, please make that person's nose more wooden, and make Pinocchio's nose more wooden, and they'll make that note until it's just where you want it to be. Then you say, stop, that's right where I wanted it, that looks just like Pinocchio with a wooden nose, and you'll be happy that you've been able to approve that shot in real time and move on to the next one. We believe that one of the most amazing things in working on BeBop, forgive my hyperbole, is collaboration. Without collaboration, you're just sitting in a room with another person, and if that person's not in the room, you're not collaborating. At BeBop, we try to create that always on, in the room experience with you whenever you want it, whenever you need it. So you simply pull on when you're sitting at your workstation, you invite the other individual to join your session, and you'll be able to enjoy OTS in real time on both workstations. Let me add that every one of those solutions is completely secure, and BeBop cannot be accessed. You cannot pull the files down. It's a stream, so that when you are doing the review and approval process, you're still completely in that secure environment. When you're doing the uploading, you're uploading into that secure environment. When you're driving your computer, again, you're in that completely secure environment. Last thing, let me just stress that why do people want to work from the cloud? Of course, working from home, that's one of the options that it provides you, working remotely. But working from the cloud is also the ability to work when you want to work, anywhere you want to work as long as there's an internet connection. So let me just repeat that. If you're working from home, as many of us are, your modest internet connection should be enough to set up everything you've got with a giant internet connection at work. Everything you're used to using in your laptop can be used again, or you can use a zero client, but either way, the infrastructure that you presently have will suffice to keep you going and keep you working from home or remotely. And again, it isn't just working in the cloud. It's about the ability to work on a powerful computer remotely, not have to buy that computer at once, and be able to have it upgraded whenever you need it to be upgraded, as obviously the clouds do on a regular basis. Okay, so very quickly, let's just talk about the tools that are on BeBop, and then we'll get to questions and answers. Let me let you guys know that everything you see here is proprietary to BeBop. This is all original IP and original software. We've talked about the BeBop platform. That's the way that we allow you to both use your tools that you're used to using in the cloud and also to collaborate, upload, etc. That operating software is built by BeBop on top of existing protocols. TC over IP is our primary protocol that we run on top of. Rocket Transfer is what I was talking about as the optimized solution to allow you to upload from BeBop. And we're very security conscious, so if you absolutely want us to, we will program it in a way that you can also download, excuse me, you can download from BeBop with no problem and replace the existing file transfer tools you've been paying so regularly for on a monthly basis. In some cases, Rocket can replace those tools. In other cases, you're still going to want to spare insignias on your workstation. If you're working exclusively in the cloud and working exclusively on BeBop, Rocket is all you'll need. The collaboration engine I was talking about a minute ago is the over-the-shoulder tool. And over the next few months, you're going to see that evolve to annotation and additional other tools and features we'll add on to the collaboration engine. Everything you're talking about, that I'm talking about, and you're looking at today, is working today. There are customers, those list of customers you saw are all operating these solutions today. And we're very happy to say that Rocket and Collaboration Engine, or OTS, is an important part of the workflows for a lot of companies throughout Europe, United States, Asia, and all around the world. Lastly, the most obvious one on the screen that is relevant to today is disaster recovery, and most importantly, business continuity. In business continuity and disaster recovery, and this is very relevant for what a lot of us are dealing with today, we have the ability to bring up your workstations, load the images with the softwares you're going to need, get them all ready to go, and then put them into hibernation or sleep mode so that we can flip a switch and bring them back online if you need to or you have that urgent requirement. In the short run, we strongly suggest that if you're not ready to go to BeBop today, but you anticipate a point in time where everyone's going to be working from home, or you'll have more editorial or visual effects or graphics to do that you're not doing today, we strongly recommend you get out ahead of this and put your systems into standby. It costs about 10% of what your normal monthly rate would be, and it's a very easy flip of a switch to get everything online and get your team working from an alternative location, including home. I have a feeling many of you are already working from home. I have a feeling many of you are still figuring out your workflow processes from home. Managed services is the group that we have that will help you understand and sort through your workflows. That group has been in business for 10 years and has been migrating folks to the cloud for 10 years. So there's probably no company as experienced as BeBop in helping sort through your workflows for media. We've been doing this a long time, and I think in the long run, that experience in the cloud is the advantage we have to help you work seamlessly. A lot of the people here have been working in various other companies and various other areas of the industry. I want to reassure you that everybody at BeBop knows what 3.2 pull down is, understands what a blue screen extraction is, and is very well aware of all the editing and visual effects and post-production workflows and distribution workflows that you all use every day. At this point, I'm going to open it up to question and answer. Dave Benson, our CTO and my co-founder, will be joining me for this. And I think Dave has access to the questions. Dave, can you jump in and
I'm here.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
So if you can, I don't see the questions right now. If you can.
Yep, no questions yet.
Okay. So go ahead and if you have any questions for us about how to use BeBop or the availability, any of the tools you're wondering, please feel free to reach out to us now. Or feel free after this webinar to reach out to us at BeBop. You can reach out to me at bruce.long@beboptechnology.com, or as you see on the screen, info@beboptechnology.com. Let me close this webinar by saying again that we really, in the long run, see this experience we're all having as a challenge to work together creatively. And what BeBop was designed to do is to empower every one of you to work together to your full potential, to never have an interruption of your income, and to make sure that if BeBop has anything to do with it, you'll be able to keep working wherever you are, whatever time of the day or night, wherever you are in the world. BeBop will try to keep you running, keep you working. In the short run, we have a set of tools that are available to you immediately. We have cloud licenses ready to go, and you have a turnkey solution, a flip of a switch, and you can be editing in less than an hour or doing visual effects at your home in less than an hour. Let me reiterate that you can use any of your existing laptops, any of your existing desktops, or you can work with BeBop or Amazon or any of the other remote e-commerce solutions to get a zero client and have your own hardware in your home. A zero client is a modest, small device that allows you, excuse me, to connect to the cloud using PC over IP and does, in some cases, lessen the lag in some workflows. As I've said previously, you should not be able to tell the difference from working on your computer at home or working on your computer in the cloud. With BeBop, it's virtually unrecognizable. We've done the Pepsi test many times, and no one's actually been able to tell which computer's in the cloud and which computer's on the ground. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the screen on your Zoom webinar conference. And if we don't have any questions surfacing, Dave, I don't see any. Do you?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing yet.
All right. So we'll give everybody a minute just to see if there's any additional questions. While I'm at it, I think it's probably worth saying that we are working closely with the NFL and with many of the sports and broadcast sources to keep our programming going. I think that there's certainly a desire by the content creation community to keep everybody working and to keep the pipeline going. And I want to thank all of the content creation companies for making that effort to keep our workforce going. There's nothing more important to BeBop than making sure that if you're fishermen, you can fish. If you're editors, you can edit, whether you're home, whether you're at work, or wherever you are. So Dave, unless we have any questions.
Nope, I think we're good to sign off. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. We'll be doing these webinars every day at the same time. They'll be changing every day. We'll try to give you an idea of what to expect. There'll be webinars that'll be led by different groups, including the team at the Foundry Nuke, potentially the team at the clouds, and various other softwares. If there's something you'd like to see, there's certain questions you'd like to get answered, again, feel free to reach out to us at info@beboptechnology.com or bruce.long@beboptechnology.com. Everyone, please stay healthy, please stay safe, and thank you for considering these solutions. Have a good afternoon, or good evening, or a good day.